I'm going to talk about how non-duality can hit a breakdown in relationship. So in the beginning, when someone, a seeker, is coming to non-duality, it's it's experienced as something that is outside of ordinary daily life. It's an experience, it's an understanding, it's a recognition. And this is all absolutely valid. When I was seeking and coming to understand this truth that was so exciting to be getting the clarity over, it's all I wanted to hear about. It's all I was focused on. It's all I wanted to listen to, and it was beyond, beyond, beyond. And yeah, then so I was hungry and thirsty for that. It was confirming something that I already knew inside. And that's basically what these teachings point to, is something that is already inherent behind the seeker, before the seeker, in the nature of being that which one is, that is pure aware consciousness, not separate to anything or anybody anywhere, bringing about that recognition. The non-duality pointers are pointing to that. When I was searching, it wasn't so much called non-duality. This is more of a new term that came later. For me, it was satsang, satsang. And one of the first ones that I was listening to once I knew what this, once I'd recognized, was Gangaji. And yeah, she was pointing directly to this. And I loved it, couldn't get enough, all of that. Once the recognition was really clarified here, then to live this in life is really where the experiencing moves into embodiment. Because otherwise it begins in an understanding, a recognition, but it's still conceptual until you're actually walking into it with the whole body, with the whole feeling, emotionally, directly experiencing, here to meet everything you're feeling and all the triggers that must come. Yeah. So the first place where you're going to meet those triggers is relationship, of course. And I found that out right back in 1998. 1998, I was already meeting that struggle. Like, this can't be right. This can't be real. How can it be so difficult? How to bring the truth into relationship, the truth that is beyond my truth or your truth, the truth that stands beyond right and wrong. So I would say from about the year 2000, when there really was the clarity that this has to be integrated into the human body, mind, lived relational field. I started to, of course, everybody is going to, I started to meet within my most intimate relationship the struggle of duality. And we were both very much committed to a direct meeting of one self, meeting itself directly. one truth, knowing itself. What is looking back, meeting itself here. That was the dominance of our relationship from the first moment. And that stayed in the face of absolute struggle, disagreement, relationships breaking down, and all of that. So, in the midst of all those triggers, the pain, the emotionality, the drama, in the midst of all that, we were both great lovers of the truth more than my truth. And that's what it takes. So, my truth, my side of the story, your truth, your side of the story. Do you want to be right or do you want to be free? And something massively changes when you want to be free more than you want to be right. So the unfolding with the other is bringing up the struggle of personality and unfinished business. So the ways that you have been used to relating will have been, before awakening to what you are, will have been all put together by the way that you have learned as you've been growing, the way that you've learned to protect, defend, deflect, prove, all of those ways that the ego has learned to operate. That's all going to be there. It hasn't been updated. So just because you had this recognition and you've tasted truth and you absolutely know this is true, that there is no other. As you get into a relationship and there's a trigger, like an automation, all of that behavior is going to come up and start operating. And this is really, really where golden opportunity presents itself. So in my case, in my own journey, there's a long struggle in that. And I really got the point quite soon, and so did my partner, that it's about dying to all those places that want to fight for my truth, I'm right. All of that wants to fight for that has to die, has to put down the armor for to truly meet in truth, as truth. Otherwise, there's no way for a true meeting. And that true meeting, it starts with yourself. And what you're going to be meeting is the struggle inside. And the old tendency is to, as that struggle's happening inside, to project it. And so you get into the struggle with the other. And the moment that you see that and you go, what's here? The moment that you meet yourself in truth, a direct meeting of what you know to be true beyond any story, a direct meeting of that, meeting those places in you, those sensations in you, the emotionality, whether it is irritation, upset, anger, whatever pain, that you are here to meet it directly in truth. And when you meet yourself directly in truth, the story falls down. And when you meet yourself, you can meet other, so-called other. And when two beings are willing to meet and put the story down and just meet what is here directly as pure, aware being, then whatever was in the way can be included in a direct, true meeting. But it loses its power over hijacking and taking over as the dominance. So there is a true meeting, and in this true meeting, more space opens. And as space opens, true relating can come through the true meeting, the true relating. And this is so beautiful. But it takes maturity. One has to be ready for maturity to be able to choose the truth over my truth, to be willing to meet no matter what is playing out, to be willing to meet beyond story. And then a whole another level becomes possible. A wide open, free seeing coming from freedom becomes possible. And this will be where you have the possibility to choose how to move forward from a place that is free of any kind of blame. The blame game is over. Put it down. Put the story down. Can you? Because if you can't, because that's all the system knows, and it wants to hang on, and it wants to keep it, and it wants to be right, and it wants to take some position, and that's the root of your suffering. And that is what you have carried through many, many moments of relativity in relationship. And these stories stay hanging around as realities. What if you put it all down? The moment that you put it all down, Just check in that this is on. Yeah. The moment that you put it all down, you step into another space of yourself. You step into a space of yourself that you haven't known before in relating. Into a you, a version of you that hasn't yet been embodied. And this is freedom. So to integrate what is recognized from a non-dual perspective, that there is no other, is to really recognize that when there is a trigger to the system, this is exactly what is waiting to be stepped into. In a way that you never have stepped into before. It's an opportunity. How quickly you choose to open and put the story down will be how this body-mind integrates that realization. Because what is non-duality without the inclusion of duality? If this whole dualistic experiencing is not included in recognition, then that creates a separation. I know it when I'm here, but I don't know it when I'm here. And I stick to my position and I close the door and Where did you learn all that? Where was that learned? It's not the nature of being. So all of this is part of the integration process. And is unique to everyone, but it's the same process. It's an ego, it's a dying of the ego. And you're going to know how much identified you are with those places by how much it takes reality for you. How much reality do these places have for you? And when you feel, for example, irritated by someone else, irritated or triggered by somebody else, what if that is showing you in that trigger, everything that comes up and all the way that that then plays through you? What if that is like a mirror showing you how you play? Do you want to see yourself? Do you want to look in that mirror? Or do you make it all about them? Because that is where you create separation, duality. Who do you take yourself to be in the midst of that trigger? Who are you? Do you want to be right or do you want to be free? Living true to self-recognition in relationship is really where you're going to see the invitation, the opportunity, and maturity. Let me know how it is for you. How is it for you in your relationships? What do you do when you feel triggered by the other? Are you willing to put the story down and truly meet? Does that have any value for you? Or would you rather hold on to the story being created? Check it out for yourself. Let me know in the comments. And by the way, I have a retreat starting on the 27th of December 2025. In case you're watching this, it's only 6 days away. We go through all of this. In all of my retreats, we go through all of this. That's really been, for me, like where the value is, to bring all of this conscious and to create a space where we can meet all these places and we can meet each other in truth, meeting in truth. I'm passionate about that. Thank you for watching, and please leave a comment, subscribe, and like. It helps this video to be shown to more and more people. Thank you.